This may be unsuitable for young children. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I really wanted to do more of these scenes that are sort of set in the lair, but where they actually sat down watching. But it's really awkward to try and get those elements into the Shady movie.
Oh, I'm sure.
I'm glad I got I'm glad I got the rats thing in. When the Persian stuck in the torture chamber.
Yes, that was marvelous. It was hilarious. Ooh, it's my boyfriend.
What do you think of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies? I don't think I've ever actually seen one all the way through.
Really, I have. Oh, I love them. I like the first one best, but if you can put up with the progressively bad cheesiness, I mean, they're very entertaining.
Now, what do you think of this whole setting it in New York modern day aspect?
I don't know. I thought it was kind of stupid. I thought it was kind of a way to not have to wrap up their original story and then get to revisit it and then leave us with a really, really obvious cliffhanger.
Well, yeah, like I said, the whole point of it is to have a sequel, and I think if they'd had the sequel, everything would have made so much more sense, and we would have had a great second Englund Phantom movie, which can't be bad. But if they weren't going to go with it, I think they should have killed all this, because there's about 30 minutes that are sort of taking up time, and really we could do with that time spent on more Englund Phantom scenes.
Yeah.
And then we may have the perfect version if they did that.
Every time I see this, I see that girl, and I just think, superstar, because it's totally the same gal, but...
I always thought that bit a bit weird with the blood.
I thought that was actually kind of one of the coolest, weird little effect things that they did in this
It was
movie.
quite a good effect for the time, I guess.
It was a nice little bit of foreshadowing, and then you have this thing where she just spins around broken glass, and I think, oh, it's the 80s. I love the 80s.
It was acceptable in the 80s. What is she spinning on?
I don't even know.
I'd love to see a making of this movie and how they did some of the effects.
Well, at least she's playing the part of a man like she was supposed to be in whatever opera they were rehearsing. I can't quite recall.
Is the Meg who plays Meg the same as the Meg in the 80s? I don't think she is she?
No, she's not. She's a completely different person, which I didn't understand why they didn't have it be the same person.
Because I don't understand the whole thing. Is it a reincarnation thing, or is she remembering, or I don't understand it. I've never understood it.
I don't think it makes any sense. That's probably why you don't understand it. I think it was just a bit of convenience and really bad writing.
There's this thing later on where I can't remember how I rationalised it, but I think that it was that modern day Christine has unlocked her old memories. But what really screws it up is then that in the past she knows about Don Juan Triumphant and she's heard it. So is she getting memories from the future? And that's what really screws it up for me. But someone posted a comment saying that the only real rationalisation of it is that maybe there was another Christine back in the 1700s when he sold his soul to the devil, and she heard his Don Juan Triumphant then, and they keep repeating it through the ages or something, and that sort of makes sense. But you really have to think hard about that.
Hard. I think you're putting too much thought into it, and nobody else thought about it that hard when they were writing this. I like the movie, I just think that it's full of gaping holes.
I love the look of it. I mean, look at the Phantom's Lair. That's how the Phantom's Lair should have been in the 2004 movie.
Yeah, this is a lot better than his weird little, I don't even know, lakeside apartment.
I mean, the whole movie looks great, doesn't it? The cinematography is excellent.
Oh yeah, and I'm biased because I have an extreme mint for Robert Englund, so...
What's he like in his other movies? I mean, apart from the Freddy stuff, does he have many straight roles?
I've seen him in a couple things. He was in, I think, one of the Wishmaster movies, and then, no, it wasn't Wishmaster. Crap. He was in Urban Legend. He was a professor in that.
But
I don't know. He got pretty typecast as being a horror actor.
Yeah. But he's very good at it.
He is good. And he's good in this because his what most people recognize him in is as Freddy Krueger, and this is a completely different character, even though they do the exact same makeup for him, but it doesn't seem like the same character at all.
Apparently there was some fuss as well at one of the posters. They sort of photoshopped it, or whatever the equivalent of Photoshop was in the time, like Microsoft Paint, and they sort of removed the really good makeup they have, and they put a Freddy makeup on it to make it look like a Freddy film, and Englund was really unhappy about that.
Oh boy, I don't blame him.
I just wish they'd made this sequel. I mean, have you read about it? I think I'm talking about it a bit in the review, where he's living beneath the streets of New York, and he's got this blind girlfriend, like in The Man Who Laughs. And I sort of really like that idea. I would have liked to have seen that.
I don't know that I would have liked it. The premise just kind of turns me off, but that's me.
Is it the blind girl thing? A lot of people don't like the ugly man stroke blind girl.
It's not that. I don't know. I'm kind of a stickler for he was in love with Christine, so I kind of like him to keep that angle, and I either want him to die or I want him to keep stalking her, and that probably is indicative of some serious psychological issues I might have.
You must really hate the David Stella version then.
Oh God. Well, yeah, when he goes off and he just like finds another girl at the end, it doesn't speak to his character, in my opinion, that he's just going to, I don't know, like, good for him he's moving on, but, oh, I like your little song parody here. I got sidetracked. Like, good for him that he's moving on, but it just seems like it was so quick that then you lose all sympathy for his original, little issue, because if he could just get over it like that, it's like, oh, well, then it really wasn't that important to you, was it?
But Christine got over it. Remember in the lair, he's like, you try my patience, make your choice. And she's, okay, I'll go with Val. Oh, okay.
Well, I don't think she was in love with him at all, though. He was, like, she was trapped down there, wasn't she?
I guess so, yeah, but...
We have anything to get over in that version.
Yeah, you and I are very different people. You think the Phantom should stay with Christine. I think, screw her, she went up his role, go and get another girl.
No, I think that she needed to escape from both of them.
Yeah, and go to Sweden by herself.
Yeah, by herself. Don't make fun of my voice.
Okay, on to part 2.
Yay!